What is up, guys? Welcome into the college football weekend preview. I am Drew Martin, live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wanted to just go over a couple college football games here, guys. If you didn't get my tweet, am on the over in the Colorado Rockies Los Angeles Angels game. That is a 12 as the total, and you can get it even money, minus 105 at some shops. But if you shop around, even money on the over of 12 for MLB. You only got about an hour, maybe two before first pitch. But this show here, going to look to go over the college football games each and every Friday. Maybe get a couple winners, couple units in the bankroll here, and got a couple underdogs on the slate for, I guess we're calling it week 2. But either way, trying to get the lighting correct here, guys. A little bit later in the day on Friday, so got some light coming from behind. But first game up, Syracuse versus UNC. Wanted to break this game down just because my power ratings have this a lot closer than 23 points favoring the UNC Tar Heels. So first up on Syracuse, plus the 23. Dino Babers, he's a coach that if you go back to, the MAC days, he was a great bet on there at Bowling Green. And he just, bringing in a new offensive coordinator, a guy that he's worked with before. And it sounds like everything that I've read early on, they had some kind of disruption there in their offseason, talking about the Syracuse kind of roster overall. But in the last couple days, all the quotes that I've read have been positive. I mean, these guys are ready to get the season going, looking to offensively. From everything that I've read, it sounds like pretty seamless offensively. I think that they'll be able to move the ball against this UNC defense. Now, a lot of the mainstream kind of focusing on what Mac Brown's been able to do for UNC, which last year was awesome. I mean, a great quarterback and Sam Howell, the whole bit. But now laying 23 points to a Syracuse team that I have a little bit underrated coming into the marketplace, 5-7 last season. I think they underperformed. And this year, I think Syracuse is going to be a bet on out the gate. So within 3 touchdowns plus some, plus 23, I like the Syracuse Orange out the gate. We got Coy Mike in the house. What is up, guys? Going to be breaking down a couple games here, Coy. I guess we'll find out. Texas Tech, Houston Baptist over large for you, Mike. Well, best of luck with that. And this next game, another underdog here, guys, is the game I like the most, actually, on the slate. It's the game I bet most personally here. It's another underdog in the ACC. Got the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets at the Florida State Seminoles. Looks like 13 to be the line about right now. 51.5 being the total here. It's not a very high total and almost 2 touchdowns here for the underdog. So profile of bet-wise, I like that. Getting a lot of points with not a very high total for college football. And we're getting the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets plus 13. That's kind of the best bet for the show here. In the second year of the new administration, Jeff Collins, the head coach, kind of a fiery guy, gets his troops ready to rock. He's got the same offensive and defensive coordinators, so they're not having to learn new systems in this offseason with COVID-19 coming on. That's kind of a profile I'm looking to be bet on in college football and the NFL for that part. Not guys having to learn new systems, so they can concentrate a little bit more on the fundamentals. Georgia Tech, 19 of 22 starters returning. Looks like 18 should be playing in this game. So a lot of returning production here for Georgia Tech. 10 starters on defense. So almost the same defensive line here. Defensive lineup for Georgia Tech. And an improved offensive line. They had a lot of injuries last year on their offensive line. And they're also adding in 3 transfers, all from SEC schools, by the way, to help out on the offensive line. And I know some people pointing towards the fact they don't know who's playing quarterback. I actually think that could be a good thing in week 1 because guess what? Florida State defensively has to plan for a lot of different guys out there, and they're not all the same type of quarterback, type of player. So I think that actually could favor Georgia Tech in a real weird way. So overall, FSU side of it, new head coach, new system, their quarterback Blackman, not necessarily a guy that's had a lot of success at the college football level so far. In this offseason, there was kind of some unrest with the players in Florida State. To say it went smoothly this offseason for Florida State, I would not agree with you at all. And, Florida State, I think some of this line is, 2 touchdowns because of the name here. We think Georgia Tech moving from the option to now, a little bit more spread pro style type here. And Florida State, the name recognition in itself, the Seminoles bringing a lot to the table. But really, over the last few years, they've only won 18 of their last 38 games overall as a program. This is not the same Florida State program that we saw in 2013 in the national championship game, guys. Now, could they turn it around here with the new coach? Absolutely. But laying 2 touchdowns here, week 1 out the gate against a really improved Georgia Tech team, I don't like it. So I'm betting Georgia Tech plus 13. Also bet a money line as well, guys, plus 360. So heck, if they can go into Doak and come out with a win, that would be really nice. That plus 360. But for the best bet, Georgia Tech plus 13 is the side I'm looking to be on. So Coy, Mike Campbell, welcome in, guys. Anybody out there, feel free to ask any questions in the chat box on Sports Picks TV on YouTube and at Drew Martin Bets on Twitter. Next game wanted to break down here, kind of a little bit indecision, but Coastal Carolina versus Kansas. This is a fascinating handicap. We got the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. I believe they are the only team, the only school in Division I that had all of their spring practices. So far, that's been a huge advantage in terms of teams cashing bets, having more spring practices. And no one's going to have more spring practices than Coastal Carolina. So that would kind of be a bet on for me. The only thing is this has kind of been steamed here towards Kansas. So trying to figure that out. And actually Kansas, points towards a lot of you could see like a lot of the marketplace wanting to be on Kansas. They got Les Miles, the head coach. And here's the real reason. Their offensive coordinator, Brent Dearman, he did a lot better when he took over the offense. You saw a big change in it. They went a lot more up tempo with Brent Dearman kind of calling the plays here. Puka Williams, likely the best player on the field Saturday. He's the running back for Kansas. So it's one that I'm staying away from, but I was looking to be on Coastal Carolina. It's now just down to 6.5. You might be able to find a 7, but just wanted to throw that out there. Plus the fact Kansas minus 12 turnover margin last year. So look for that to improve on the Jayhawks. Those are some things that are keeping me off of the Coastal Carolina side. Mike, yeah, get to the Notre Dame game. Sure. Mike Kahn, thanks for the question. Appreciate you joining. Duke, Notre Dame. Duke plus 20.5. We got a total of 54. So we got the Irish laying 20.5 in South Bend. Coaching angle, 2 really good coaches overall. David Cutcliffe for Duke. I'm not sure on this, but ATS, he's been a great bet. One of the better active head coaches in terms of long-term profile of bet on coaches. Cutcliffe, I really don't like to be betting against him. And interestingly here enough, their new quarterback, Chase Bryce, he was a guy that made a very important pass a couple years ago for Clemson to get a first down. And now he's transferred here to Duke. I don't know if you remember that. They were down. I think it was to Syracuse. He came in for an injured Trevor Lawrence, made that great pass. Well, that highly recruited guy, at least to some degree, is now playing for Duke. And he's got one of, and in my opinion, the best quarterback coach in the country, David Cutcliffe, as his head coach. So that's really a bet on for me. The Duke Blue Devils early this season, minus 11 turnover margin last year, would look for that to improve. Notre Dame had a plus 17 turnover margin. So 28 turnover difference from these two teams last year. I would look for regression there. Makes me want to bet Duke. However, Notre Dame, Brian Kelly, well-coached team. Ian Book at the quarterback position. I'm a big fan of Ian Book. You get mobility, and I think he can throw the football pretty well here. So I don't know. I lean Duke plus 20.5, but I haven't gotten there personally. I might get there before Saturday morning, but can't really go on record with it right now. I don't know. It's just a tough one. I can see Notre Dame kind of going away with it at the end, but I do kind of like the points here with 20.5 with Duke. We got Maddie in the house. Does WVU cover 41.5? Not sure. I would lean West Virginia in that one, Matty Coy. You really wanted to take Kansas, but the breakdown took me off from every game on the board segment. Yeah, it did for me as well. Listening to some guys talk about Coastal Carolina, and a lot of times I try not to let too much opinion affect me, but I'm with you. I know what you're saying there, Coy. Any thoughts on Notre Dame? Yep, just broke it down, and I leaned Duke plus 20.5 there, Con. Jay, Georgia Tech plus 11.5. Now still take them. I guess so. I'm pretty sure you can find 12.5, 13 out there just as of like 20 minutes ago, though. So I would recommend kind of shopping around there. But yeah, I like Georgia Tech plus the points, and I even took a money line plus 360. So that's one I'm definitely on. The two bets I'm definitely locked in on as of right now, guys. Before we wrap this up, feel free to throw out any last minute questions here. Looking to do this each and every Friday, hopefully a little bit earlier in the day, but a little bit tough to get going. We got Syracuse plus 23 and Georgia Tech plus 13. Those are the two I'm going to go on record with here. Two underdogs in the ACC. Syracuse, I think they're underrated. Dino Babers, a little bit underrated coach, and I hope he gets it going here in his, fifth year. And Georgia Tech plus 13. Jeff Collins, second year in the administration, same system here, goes into Tallahassee. I think they can come out victorious straight up, but for the show, plus 13 will be the bet. So Georgia Tech plus 13, Syracuse plus 23. Guys, thanks for joining me. Look to do this next Friday as well. Best of luck if you're tailing there, guys. Syracuse plus 23, Georgia Tech plus 13. Knock them dead this weekend.